It is utterly absurd.
For 9 seconds.
Not yes.
It's 8 or 9
Until
seconds.
it's like what?
But you need Blade Man as well, and you need Dagger, and if you can get it off aim, sure, that's super good. But he's probably gonna go Lincoln, right? You go Lincoln, and then
It's so hard to get it
no.
off.
But what if? Here's the thing: he counter spells. You still duel
yeah,
because it
still is
reflects
Lincoln.
back
he
on
duels. He man.
He duels, yeah.
you. Does he get the BKB?
Yeah, he gets the BKB then.
This is crazy though. Like LC in a duel will kill everyone in this game at the moment if he's just moderate in net worth. That I like. We talked about last pick Razor.
They have such good lanes. Their lanes are super strong in Gambit right now, and their game plan is so easy. Just create space for Ultimate, and he'll carry you. And
I mean, I don't know why Ian was doing this to me.
Doesn't Razor just link the Sven and they're gonna win the fight?
Yeah, or LC, or anyone that's fighting. It's weird. Like Gambit won, but I have to choose EHOME.
Razor looking really good here. Any matchup he goes into, he should do really good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, EHOME's lanes are also really strong, except the one they put against Razor.
Okay, let's do some predictions.
I don't think that was me. I'm trying to fix it.
It's not
If
like
it is,
Kyle.
it's
If
probably.
anyone can hear it at home, it's Kyle. He's very unprofessional.
He's definitely.
His microphone is like in his mouth sometimes. He likes to like be disgusting.
But don't worry, we got him in check here. We keep him here. Don't worry. Good.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Black's going EHOME because he has to. And
Have to.
Bulldog has to go.
Gambit bros.
I'm
Gambit.
going Gambit.
He has to go
Their
Gambit.
lineup is good. I'm a little bit
Yeah.
worried about Profit though, going all tank items.
I have a feeling we might end up being wrong just
Okay.
because of the Ags synergy with this Wisp. When he hits level 15, Sven, Mag, and LC will all benefit. I have a feeling this is some weird pocket strat of some sort, but on paper, I just think Gambit's got a way easier time winning this game, and I think Zhao Wei played himself.
Okay.
I just wanted to
so-
clarify, even
Yes.
though I have to choose EHOME, I
Yes.
think Gambit is gonna win this game.
Yeah, I can't
But
wait
I'm
to-
stuck with my perfect prediction of
I want to hear
course.
what Synderen has to say.
Yeah, me too.
Synderen?
See what I have to put up with on this panel? How could I have had Synderen on the panel?
Oh, no, he's mine. You can't have him. Send is mine.
We don't want him.
Which way are you going?
Yeah, which way are you going?
Synderen?
I went first last time, so you can't put it on me.
Well, I'm gonna go Gambit.
Well, if the drafts were swapped, I would easily take EHOME because they would be the better team with the better draft. But this is some weird stuff.
There's some very weird stuff. Enjoy that Legion Commander Ags.
I like how we have from production quick predictions. This
yeah.
is very quick,
Just shoot to
Synderen.
the game. We'll predict in a sec.
No.
Shoot. No!
Do it now.
Now!
Bye.
Okay, okay.
Bye.
Bye.
EHOME. Okay,
EHOME?
let's do it. Let's do it.
Funnily enough, I was actually thinking EHOME as well.
Okay.
Just the way
I was
the...
not expecting that actually.
For me to go for EHOME and not for Gambit?
Yeah.
Like, I like Gambit's lineup. I hate Razor. I'm with Ted on this one. Razor can go die in a dumpster.
All right.
But it's the fact that how many of these fights could just end up with EHOME hitting a great RP, having his Ven follow-up, and then Legion just wrecking face with the Empower buff up. I think there's a lot of ways where EHOME can really capitalize on any mistake from Gambit, and that's why I lean that way.
It's clear that EHOME, if they are to win this game, need to win big team fights. I don't think the skirmish game is going to really favor them, and I don't think the lanes are going to favor them that much either. Tianming will survive here, tethering away. They got 3 runes. That's a good start, at least for them. But yeah, I look at this Razor lane being fantastic for Razor. He has 3 good matchups like this on the panel, so there's no real obvious solution to this problem. And then looks like Gambit will run an aggro trial in the beginning with a safe lane Nature's Prophet for Afterlife.
How's that meant to work up on top lane? Because like we've seen Nature's Prophets, they get this early Blight Stone. For anyone who doesn't have armor, like, that's a 3 armor magnets and a 1 armor Coddle. Like, does Coddle have to stay up here and keep blasting the Prophet? Because doesn't that just push the wave back underneath the tower where he's very happy to fight?
I think this is definitely what they should be doing. Just spam your nukes. That's how you get CS and you stop the treants from being effective. And then you can always go and pull the big camp on the side in 10 seconds. That will be spawning for the first time. If they do stay as 2 up here.
And they can potentially force a rotation. Like, this is the second Illumina's going to hit, plus the Shockwave on top lane. So it's heavy damage. You've still got a salve available. And they are really diving for this. Nature's Prophet's in trouble. Into the tree lines. Innocence with the Illuminate will find the kill. They have to cut through the trees to get away from the treants. Yeah, that's not going to be complicated during this game. Tether away from Io. He's waiting to go back to the spam, but that's why Immersion's already there with the tree. Hit him as hard as you possibly can. Coddle will die still in the meantime. He denies himself to a neutral creep. But it's the bottom lane where FNG makes the most of the Frost Shield and Tiny just zoning out this Io and spam. But remember, all the damage you do is very efficiently regenerated up with the salve and the tether combined together. The sustain in this lane looks real nice. And then later on, you've got the other good sustain, which is the fact you can press the attack combination with the IO.
Yeah, they have a lot of sustain for sure. Between IO and Sven, when the Warcry runs, when they start leveling up Overcharge, the heroes will be difficult for Gambit to kill. That's actually a good point we haven't talked about so much yet, is that the composition of Gambit doesn't have the best burst damage, except the Tiny, but he's a support. So killing heroes quickly is difficult, and then you will be fighting into all of these tanky heroes with Blinding Light and Ignis eventually.
Yep.
I think if EHOME get through the laning stage...
and the IO sustain, it's a lot of things across the board.
Yeah. I mean, so far so good for ASD in mid. He's doing better than I thought he would be. He's tied with Razor so far.
Well, he seems to have backed off from every single static link that AFO has attempted. He's trying to get boots up next, but they'll both... Actually, I think Razor gets boots beforehand, then that mid lane may be a little bit more difficult. There's also this top lane, watching Nature's Prophet battling against a Magnus. I think a lot of that CS was a couple of treants being picked up. Damn, Prophet takes so much damage, but he's got more consumables here. He'll be fine.
Yeah, it's getting decently pressured though, and I think, okay, it looks like Razor is starting to get more of a foothold here in the mid lane. Double damage rune and 8 denies. That's a great rune to get. That makes it even easier. Now instead of 1 million damage, you have 2 million damage.
Yep.
So that will keep him at bay here.
I'm loving how effective this Dire Ward is on the bottom lane. It's blocking up the camp at the moment, but with all the trees that have been cut down by the IO, it now sees everything on the bottom lane. So Gambit, they rotate around, but again, like, Immersion as well as FNG, they want to go onto this IO, but when they do it, they split up, and then he just IOs away, tethers away.
IOs away. Is that a verb?
I make things verbs.
The IOs. And the Sven. Well,
The Legion commands.
It's a relatively even laning stage so far. This is going better for EHOME than I think most of the panel were expecting at this point. I know it's just 4 minutes in, but they're managing.
They're jumping up, going after the Sven. You still got a Fairy Fire to give a little bit of extra life, but they're underneath the tower and trying to run away from that Frost Shield is so difficult to do. While up on top lane, Nature's Prophet, Skew is available, and you'll go underneath the tower, but TP coming in from Tiny. You say force the TP to be burned. The whole rotation does not happen, however. But I think that rotation actually helps out nicely, because now IO gets the bottle on bottom lane with the return of the Magnus. And they're going to instantly Stormbolt as well on the bottom, looking for the kill onto Immersion. Lich is nearby, giving the Frost Shield so Immersion can get back to the tower. And into relative safety, as Prophet has to use his TP to go home. And then he'll use his scroll to come back to the lane.
Man, they're killing these treants so easily. This double wave clear setup in the top lane is being super effective. They have infinite mana.
Do you actually get Arcane Boots onto Magnus, just so they got even
lane.
more? Yeah, they're really going in.
Totally.
But yeah, IO sitting behind, already had a lot of life burn, and they're giving mana as well as life. So these Storm Bolts, even though like you burn 2 and you got no mana for a third, like now they can spam it a lot better at EHOME on their safe lane.
.16 CS on Sven, not the greatest. He is the position 1, let's not forget. He needs to be doing a brunt of the damage in this game on this Sven, but the hero can recover. I wouldn't say it's a great recovery hero in general.
But with the Magnus to help him out, it should be a little bit better.
I mean, it's kind of overkill, to be honest, on Cleave. But if he does end up having a good game, you will see some one-shots in this game when he cleaves for both Great Cleave Plus and Power. It's pretty insane.
It's like, do you actually bypass getting the cleave in the early points? You just get like Stormhammer as well as Warcry, and that's it. It's like, okay, Magnus, you've already had a fantastic time up on top lane. Now just give me the buffs.
It's a possible option. Yeah. I could definitely see you doing that. I do think he wants at least 1 point Great Cleave, though. It's a really high value point. Level 1, or level 4 Great Cleave is only twice as good as level 1. So first point's really nice.
FNG's moving over just to point down an Observer Ward. Leaves the bottom lane a little bit more exposed. Apo's going to be very happy, however. Another double damage room for him to grab. Magnus is getting a lot of space up on top lane, so they did go for the Arcane. Just never-ending spam in the lane against Nature's Prophet. No way to add any level of pressure. Not to mention Keeper of the Light making bank. And he's TPing in towards the mid lane. I think they're expecting some kind of attack
They want to defend this tower and siege creep.
Because Legion's about to hit 6, but on bottom lane, that's where they go after the Sven. Prophet TP's down as well. And Io, no armor to really defend with. 4 heroes go for the kill, and they'll claim it.
Was the wrong read from Innocence. Or maybe he was going to go here anyway. They need to defend this tier 1 tower. He's going to illuminate, force Alpha Ninja away so he can't tank the tower for the siege creep, and now that will die.
They're actually TPing into this? That's an interesting choice from the Legion Commander. He wants to find himself a kill, and he's found one with the duel over on Nature's Prophet. You got the Frost Shield up. Who's going to be a victor here? Io's trying to come in to help him out. They don't actually get the victory from it. And now EHOME, so heavily committed. Tiny tossing up the Io. They're trying to create some space, so you will find the kill into ASD with the overwhelming odds. Extra movement speed to chase down Immersion. FNG, body blocking up. He's got no Frost Shield to give over. Begins his TP out. Oh, the extra attack from the Moment of Courage, but still not enough. FNG gets home safely. Even a small little lane switch now coming in from Gambit. Apo TPs towards the top lane, where Sven has found a little bit of extra space. At least that's what he thought. Stormbolt has to walk it off.
Yep. They want to try to keep this Sven down for a long time. This hero's recovery curve with a bad start is pretty steep, but of course, like you said, Magnus can make things a bit easier. When they combine their cleaves, what is it? Is it 164% or something, I think? Yeah.
You could do the math on that.
That's about the same as Kunkka Cleave. Just that he doesn't get the flat 100 bonus damage from Tidebringer, but you're effectively Tidebringering every attack.
Look at the recovery when they get a triple stack of Ancients.
Yep.
And the Magnus is only a level 1 in power at the moment.
That's enough if they can keep Ego alive. It's still a lot of cleave with the Great Cleave when he hits level 6.
That's
Until
it.
then,
Well, he needs to buy the Morbid Mask, or Io's gonna have to burn a lot of a lot of life. Maybe even a defense Observe Ward wouldn't be too far astray. As Afo adding pressure towards the top lane, FNG has finally joined him in the lane. But how do you push the lanes out? When you got the Coddle Blast as well as the Shockwave, it's difficult to keep momentum and the overwhelming odds. Going high ground is difficult, but this is one easy way to do it. Just walk him, toss Innocence back into the kill ball. That is the Gambit lineup.
He hasn't skilled Blinding Light on a support Coddle level 5. A lot of the time we see these 5 Coddles or 4 Coddles regardless go for at least 1 value point in the blinding, but he's all in on the wave push like you said. And if you do get tossed in like that into a Razor, you can't blind him away, you got trouble. So Gambit gonna grab that kill as well. Still only a marginal lead here, and I mean, I'm just as curious as everybody else about how this Legion Commander is gonna work out. They were theory crafting a lot about the Aghanims. It's a really nice way to at least have a guaranteed lockdown for the Anti-Mage because the Reflect doesn't change anything.
I thought it was a nice counter as well to the Nature's Prophet. Like, how can you push in with mass amounts of trees? It's not really going to be possible to do. And yes, you can have the individual lockdown, but well, there's a whole lot of your team that wants to follow up. And they have a lot of damage to offer too. Up on top lane. They're going to RP pretty damn quick, but do they have the damage? Okay, they have the duel. FNG tries to create a little bit of space, doesn't have level 6 just yet with the Wrath of Nature. Heavy damage into Faith Beyond, but he'll survive through it. They really want to finish off that tier 1 tower on top lane.
This should
They
give
start
them
restricting the map area of AM. And, well, okay, FNG coming for the bounty.
got it.
Oh, wow, really? He just walked into it? He'll still lose his life.
He's gonna be happy with that, I think.
Immersion may also be in trouble. Shockwave's coming off cooldown. They've got Skewer as well to close the distance, but mana is short by 5. They'll get it back when Io bottles up the other bounty. Can't believe he actually picked that up. If he didn't pick that up, they would have had the mana in the Io to give the ET Shockwave. Top lane now, Skewer does grab FNG. You've got duel off cooldown in the second time, but now Faith Beyond's in trouble. 3 heroes, they bring in so much support. Io just needs to get Legion Commander out there, Chain Frost, the split has to happen. Sprout holds him in position, and Legion Commander, oh boy, even the Ignis committal.
And the buyback too. That is disaster territory for EHOME. That fight was very, very bad for them. 3 kills, a buyback, they got nothing in return, and they even use a key cooldown with a 2-minute downtime.
And it delays the Blink Dagger timing of the Magnus. That was one of those things I thought would be really good for EHOME early on. Magnus got a great start. The RP was a large portion of them just getting the snap initiation, the fear that Gambit would have to then play under, but he'll still get it now, farming up the top lane. Oh, okay, not missing that catapult's not going to help. Yeah, do you just give this farm? Yeah, you give the farm to the Legion Commander. She needs to finish up this armlet. She needs to be stronger when they start the engagements. So Sven's got to do it tough. Then again, he's got his own double stack that he's farming at the same time with the help of Coddle.
EHOME are at least being very effective with their jungle. They're finding a lot of farm here, so minimizing the gap between themselves and Gambit. But we have to remember, taking Time Bomb bottom, Anti-Mage is having a total free game right now. He's just farming as much as he wants. Looks to be buying the Demon Edge first for his Battle Fury.
Dire is scanning. Remember, you get the relocate from Io, so all it takes is just one quick stun. FNG's on the run, but here comes that relocate into the bottom river. They're a little bit further away. They want the dual victory, but Afo's here too with the double damage rune on the Razor. Relocate's not going to find anything they want, and the T1 tower in the meantime, taken by Gambit. Gambit are just everywhere on this map, and EHOME, every engagement they've looked for in the last 5 minutes has not come up for them.
This Mag Dagger has to change that for them. It's very clear in this game that there's a lot of pressure on Faith Beyond to deliver. It's been doing great this tournament so far, so it's one of the players you would want to trust. This kind of
Ego. So they jump.
oh,
They can just send FNG in. The smoke's gonna break. They already know exactly where he is, but I think they're a little concerned battling into the tier 2 tower, especially when they don't have enough information on the rest of
here comes the
EHOME,
smoke.
who are coming over, and they're going to find Immersion RP instantly onto the Tiny. They will skewer him back. I think he tried to clip him for half a second, and then tossing forward. The Chain Frost, however, bouncing into the creep wave. Not what they want to have happen. The Ignis keeps Tiny in position. Legion Commander, leave him for me. Dual victory, plus 20, but okay, maybe they need the control over on Afo. Ego runs forward, Stormbolt's coming back off cooldown, throws it over towards the Razor, but Dahak gets involved in the fights too. Cleans up the eye in the back lines, and the sustain from EHOME just starts to fall apart. 3 heroes down for him. Legion Commander tries to armor or toggle away, but it will not work. 4 heroes down from EHOME, and it will probably be 5 if that Frost Shield could just clip Innocence, which it cannot.
that RP isn't going to cut it.
No.
That's just not enough. You can't RP one support and expect to win the fight. I think EHOME choosing to chase that was a little bit crazy. I think they got enough out of it. And the RP isn't great, but you got to just take what you get. If that's the RP you find, back off, wait for it to come off cooldown again. We're going to see the replay. So he was hoping to get them both. FNG just barely sidestepping there. Really good Chain Frost, ends up bouncing around quite a lot here. Unfortunately, actually, he's pretty unlucky here.
Only
Could
in the
have
creeps.
maybe bounced back. It could have maybe bounced back, but see. So Immersion's going to die. They have the choice of backing off here. Afo gets scared and backs. That could be a full-on reset here. And EHOME, with the read that they're going to win this fight, pretty big mistake. Like, they don't have tools left.
Yeah.
So they're out of stuff.
I'm still wondering if it's a
Get
little bit
killed
more
off.
of like a narrow mindset when they go into the fights. I RP on one target, I Legion duel just so I get the bonus damage. But if they got that instant kill and then Legion duel the Razor, does that fight still go down the same way? Gambit had time to almost reset and set up a new line of defense.
Yeah. The dagger for ASD is going to be necessary, and he needs to indeed not just go for that greedy duel. If you do make that call to duel the Tiny, that means we're done. That's our kill, and we're out.
Yep.
If you duel a support like this, you're not winning the following fight after having used your team fight spell. So, yeah, EHOME need to avoid making this kind of mistake again. But Gambit keeps snowballing off of this mistake. That's actually pretty huge. How much gold and experience they just managed to grab from that exchange.
Yep.
Now
And now they're
7,000 up.
like a 15-minute Battle Fury is up. Gambit looking to push. RP pick him up, throw him back in again. And under the tower, they will find the kill as a big streak to end. Meanwhile, Higher gets exploded, but it's a great Ignis. And with the push down, Lich is caught on the wrong side of the tracks.
That's a 1-for-1 in the end in the aftermath.
Yeah,
duel.
but it's,
2-for-1
it's
in
that
total.
initial kill. It's another dual victory. It's the Razor who gave, like, it was a big streak, 519 gold. Actually went to Innocence of all people. It's maybe not the target they were looking for.
That's not that bad. The Force Staff is super useful this game. Breaking the link of Razor, getting away from Avalanche, saving people from AM jumping in. Could be way worse, for sure. There's some games where you really don't want your supports to get kills like that. It's better if you get it on a core, but this is fine. ASD not getting the kill, but he will be getting top tower, and that will give him enough gold to get his Blink Dagger.
Look how scared he is. He's already jumping away.
That's going to get denied then. Good TP from Apple.
Yeah, unless the catapult's able to.
No, that's a negative.
Oh, he still gets the Blink Dagger.
Yep. think you want to get one of two heroes in the Legion duel. You want to either get the Razor straight up, or you want to find Anti-Mage. Nobody else is really worthy of a duel in this game at this point. Furion is probably the worst. He's going to buy back and just TP back into the fight, and you're going to be overwhelmed.
They got to group up for a smoke. They got one on the Keeper of the Light. Make the most of this Blink Dagger reveal and work with Magnus. Now, he doesn't have RP available, but you don't really care as long as you've got the follow-up damage, a blink up from the AM. Well away, and then Dire Scan, and it hits. Underneath the Observer Ward, they know smoke is going on.
This Legion is so strong, actually, with Empower. He hits for 170 with Armlet on.
Wait, what, really? He didn't back up. The Shockwave is out. Illuminate spam damage, and they get a victory on the duel. Yes, they do. Plus 48 now for... Innocent's going to kill again. But
well,
sure.
18 damage for the Legion. Every single core kill, or every single kill in general, 18 damage with this level 2 duel.
Bottom lane, Ego should be a little bit more careful. And because FNG is rotating over and Tiny's moving through the trees, and they're both TPing out already. There's no Observer Ward that watches this movement, but I think it's just because they want to do... Oh, they're underneath the Radiant Obs them. Okay, yeah, they're safe. They're safe for now. They know they're fine. And they smoke up, but they smoke up underneath the Dire Observer Ward.
No.
I was like, yeah, that's really good. They're underneath the road Observer Ward, and they can get themselves away, and then they just walk to the Dire Observer Ward and then smoke.
I like EHOME's mindset, though. They really want to use their duel. The reason they smoke again is that duel came off cooldown. It's a 50-second cooldown only.
Hello.
Oh, yep,
They
hello indeed.
So they got a haste rune into the Legion Commander bottle, and Nature's Prophet's revealing himself on bottom lane. This movement from EHOME, they've gone all the way up from where they did smoke on the northern side of the map, down to the bottom. Remember, that duel, they will need to find him. He's got a Quelling Blade, but it's on cooldown for half a second. Okay, now the duel is out. Legion Commander buff them up. The damage output's enough to get him a victory. 66 bonus damage.
Yeah.
Watch the counter tick up and then get
immersion
buffed.
in the middle of nowhere alone?
Yeah, they can just jump over here, move quickly. Sven's here with him. No Stormbolt available. Keeper of the Light still on the run. Frost Shield is up. Immersion just trying to get back to his side of the river, but there's the Stormbolt. Slow him down, get the pump out damage. A blink in for a Shockwave, pulls Immersion back, and then the Skewer to hold him where he is. Faith Beyond will find the kill, and damn, that Avalanche animation looks really odd.
They're actually outplaying them really hard right now, EHOME. Just finding moves on the map. Gambit are losing their composure a little bit. They seem a little bit lost with how to place their heroes. The Furion getting caught completely alone. Notice, by the way, how Legion didn't instant duel him. I think there were two reasons for this. First of all, ASD wasn't sure if there was a lot of backup, so he didn't want to just full-on commit in, so he tried to like get a read. And then afterwards, he will also be able to get the bonus damage because he couldn't have killed him alone. Just straight up needed that bit of help. Furion, of course, with a very tanky item build, Mech, Vanguard, and Vlad's. So, but yeah, this I was actually going to talk about this when the game started from a drafting perspective. Nature's Prophet is very different from what they have been playing the whole tournament on Afterlife. These generally have been playing these like really strong team fighters, and this change in draft and approach to the game, when you get that comfortable and that used to playing one way, you gotta wonder when it comes to winning these games, like game-winning plays with Nature's Prophet are very different than game-winning plays on Tidehunter, or Darkseer, or Underlord.
You look at this build, and it could easily be a Tidehunter build. Just take out the Blightstone.
Of course, I don't really blame him for itemizing like this, but at the same time, when you're playing 4 Protect 1 with this Anti-Mage and you're buying time, you're not playing your usual timing push here for Gambit. They need time to farm up, and that means right now, the play potential for Gambit is almost non-existent. Who makes moves? Nature's Prophet, 0 damage. Tiny, he's a support. Think of Lich and Razor. The EHOME heroes are actually just running around the map freely and don't really care, because there's very limited threats of them getting picked off, and Legion Commander slowly just ramping up the damage.
Yep.
So it's a problem.
It's going to be hard
for Gambit. It's
going to be almost impossible for Gambit to pick off EHOME. The Gem of True Sight was picked up nice and early on Coddle. All that money from the kills built 4-staff and now paid for the gem as well. And they got rid of that Observer Ward they smoked underneath. Now there's only one... Actually, is there even one aggressive ward? I don't think there is.
Remember when Sven was poor this game?
Yeah, I remember that. It wasn't that long ago.
He has Sanjin Yasha, Mask of Madness.
Prophecy being over! The RP! It catches the Prophet, but doesn't catch the hero they really wanted, or maybe it does. They've isolated him out, but the damage output combining with the Chain Frost. Ignis will buy some space, but EHOME, they just can't split. The Chain Frost is killing Io and Magus in the back lines! Gambit! They got the fight! They'll take the Roshan, and, well, Gambit's back.
Full on back from that one move. Another bad RP. It's not easy. There's a lot of pressure on him, but I don't even know if Faith Beyond has to go there. I think he can let Gambit be a bit more patient. Let Gambit come in and try to fight you. Gambit's heroes need to come in close to do stuff. If Faith Beyond just chills and waits,
Look at him hunt.
and let them make the mistake.
Innocence tries to
he
juke on the
dodged the blink.
trees, and then
he's
Manda
dead.
Style gets rid of any kind of blinding light, has to instantly buy back. Io's up 2, but the tier 3 tower under assault. Gambit, they moved so quickly. They still have the Aegis, the Immortal on the anti-mage, so even if with a defense, there's no RP for 74 seconds, they'll probably take, with the tower in mid, they can threaten maybe a second lane. Have they got time while the abilities are down?
I think they're going to go back after this one. But if they want to, they can try to continue.
They're looking for it.
we'll
There's a
see.
Blink Dagger on Sven.
I don't think
Gambit
it's
just
that
needs
easy
to
get
group
in
up
here.
a little bit.
It's not easy to get in.
Lumina Spam's pushing him out. Blinding Light pushes Nature's Prophet up. They're looking for that kill, but where's the follow-up? Here comes your skewer, and actually grabs Nature's Prophet, but they've got so much life. You've already
bad
got
force left too.
Dan into the back lines. They toss away the Dueling Legion Commander. She'll get the kill over on FNG, but do you have buyback? Can you get away? ASD Armor toggling his way through, and Io helps him out, but Ego trapped inside the trees. No way to escape. Sven is down, and they're looking for more. Tiny, he looks to offer it with a blink and toss back. It won't happen. The tier 3 tower still down for the count. And Gambit, they will take their second lane, maybe. Manda Style again. Oh, there's no mana on the Legion Commander. They're copying Illuminate after Illuminate. The melee rack is gone. Gambit got what they wanted. Legion Commander cannot get forward and duel.
Sometimes you just recover fully from a bad 5 minutes and lose the game in 2 minutes. It happens, man. That's... What was it, that famous quote you had a bit earlier? This is Dota?
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very true. That's what it is.
Technically, I'm rinsing and repeating from a course
So there you
before
go. The RP
solo up
solo Nature's Prophet, who is not even close to dying, and the response from Gambit here is super good. Great Chain Frost, great jump in from the Tiny. They split everything up, and the Razor survives through it all. Gets the link out on the Sven, which is what's really important here. The moment that RP fails, the fight's actually lost, straight up. They can't really do much at that point after that. And Faith Beyond, like I said, I think he's been playing awesome this whole tournament, but this is, for me, his worst game, individual performance-wise. And he has to be more patient. He has to let Sven or let Legion lead the fight. Somebody else go in first, let Gambit respond, and look for that 3-hero or at least 2-hero RP. Should be definitely very easy to get. Anti-Mage, Razor, and Tiny all need to come in close to deal their damage. So the opportunities will present themselves for him.
They're trying to use Legion as bait, but no one fell for it. Legion just continuously farming up, needs to have the BK beam the engagement, so that Chain Frost isn't as much of a problem. But it's also the Avalanche. Like that Avalanche, it's like Legion raised the sword every single time and a rock just got caught in the blade. Like, no way to actually connect. They need to be able to stop that. Stop the stuns. Let Ego actually be a presence in the fight, but he's not even going his own BKB. He's going for an Assault Cuirass. And Faith Beyond's just following Legion wherever he goes. There's still a hell of a lot of damage on the Legion, but he's not finding who he wants. He wants Nature's Prophet, but Prophet now TPs towards the top lane, and Gambit's coming in. They want to try and force up closer towards the Megas. Blinding Light, problematic, but not unsolvable. Illuminate tries to dodge it with a blink, and then Stormbolt out. Tiny jumps in once again with the Avalanche. The spell block up for the Anti-Mage. Does he actually, he duels back, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I think ASD didn't want to use it because I'm pretty sure he would win that duel, but it's the Aegis, and they're going to need that duel for this coming fight if they want to defend the Rex.
That is very true.
We'll see if he does it. That doesn't help.
It's not just to gain damage.
Yeah, he can reflect a Stormhammer, I guess. Spell Shield. That is all he can reflect, actually, this game.
Oh, smoke up in the back lines, but the Hawk just moves in. A lot of damage. Avalanche already out. Oh boy, there's no mana on it, but Tiny is very well isolated. It's a great RP in the back lines. Skewer back in underneath the tower. And oh boy, they can't get out. The Aegis holds in position. You do get the duel off, but now a quick buyback. ASD not exactly what he was looking for. They turn their attention towards the Razor. Back behind the tier 3 tower, but he can just survive. One charges up. The Hawk, he's still not down yet. They've actually let it go, but they've found the Razor. That's the bigger target. Don't worry about the Anti-Mage. You don't want him to live again. And then the TP out just in time from Nature's Prophet. I will flag the fact that there's a plus 44 dual victory damage on the Razor, but apart from that, EHOME did defend. cost buybacks on 3 heroes to do it.
Wait, he's lost 2 duels to Razor.
He's lost 2 duels.
He's lost a level 2 and a level 3 duel to Razor. Yeah, it's something for EHOME, but it cost them so many buybacks, right?
Yeah.
It looked like an awesome RP. So we're going to see here in the backlines, finally, Faith Beyond is patient. He lets the other heroes go, and now he finds that 3-man RP.
Yep.
Gets the Skewer on into the Ignis inside the base. If Sven has one more item here, the whole team just dies from Gambit. But there's not enough in the tank. He gets drained up by the Razor. And all these buybacks being expended, definitely very costly for EHOME to defend. But they do defend at least. And perhaps they strike a little bit of fear into the hearts of Gambit that, well, next time if you don't have an Aegis, you can't go up like that. AM's just going to get dueled and the RP will follow through. And Immersion, he went from uh-oh to okay, I guess, in 5 seconds there.
It's like, hey guys, we're looking still pretty good in this game. The Anti-Mage is still completely out of control. But the Aegis Immortal is gone from him, so that's the big defense from EHOME. The fact that, okay, yeah, the Aegis Immortal didn't claim all 3 of their lanes. The first part of it claimed the middle as well as half of the bottom. But this Anti-Mage is problematic, but that's the reason why you look towards Legion. No Aghanims build, going for Desolator instead.
Yeah.
There's so much armor on everyone. I'm not exactly certain.
We get an Axe now on Io, level 15, in just 1 creep. He will give the tether target Ags, I imagine.
Oh,
So
true. It's just the Legion Commander combo then.
we'll see.
But is that the way you want that to work? I'd also beg the question, what happens if tether breaks during the duel?
I think it's still an Axe duel the whole way through. There's no...
As long as that's how it starts, that's how it should end.
Definitely should be.
Okay, well there's the bonus. Who else can he actually give?
Sven?
Yeah, it's true, Sven. Everyone can have extra damage.
That
through the
is a
Ghost Strike.
lot of damage. They have Empower and Sven ulti AoE with the tether.
So
That
that's
is no joke.
that's God Strength being granted to all to the allies.
Grants bonus damage, 125% to the whole team. Legion's base damage is 135, so it gives her about 150 as BKB. Honestly, these next fights are not clear-cut at all. And
Yeah.
Gambit are really far ahead on the gold, but when it comes to like the team fight output per gold, EHOME's lineup is not looking too shabby. The Magnus, he might not be that rich, but it's all about hitting that 1 RP.
Yep.
And the Legion Commander and Sven are like artificially inflated in their value because of Empower. So it's not that clear cut. Gambit still have to be careful. It looked like they were almost ending the game, but
They have an Invis rune on the Hawk. I don't know if this is actually the hero they wanted it on and not Immersion. But he's got the Blink Gem. So they have detection of their own. No easy way for that Shadowblade Legion Commander just to walk in. And they're hunting that Observer Ward. Does it see? It's just on the edge of where Gambit is. But the pings are coming out. The Illuminate spam makes it difficult for the waves to go all the way in safely.
Gambit, they're making this team move, but they're under vision the whole time. EHOME know exactly what's going on now. They could actually make a smoke move of their own if they have one and they want to go.
I like this. Nature's Prophet went for the -4 Sprout cooldown. He's not looking for attack speed, not looking for any kind of damage.
Yep.
It's the he can have Sprouts up, 2 of them at or at least for a 2-second duration.
Yep. Could prove to make a difference here. Sven's still holding on to the Quelling Blade, of course. Wonder what he's going to do about this MKB. If he will swap that in for the Quelling Blade, that's dangerous. Actually dangerous.
Especially considering Legion doesn't have one either. But you've got double 4-staffs. So that'll be the other ways through the trees. Both Innocence and Faith Beyond are armed with these. Io hasn't got his own. He's trying to build into a Go Scepter for the moment.
Spot a casual Ring of Tarrasque on the way.
Anti-Mage just pushed in the bottom lane. Someone has to come back to defend this. They have no other choice. They don't really want to do it because Roshan, he is in that spawn window. We know he's 50 seconds away. So it's Legion Commander who's sent back to do the duty.
And Ego bought a Chrysalis. He changed his mind.
Okay.
He swapped out the Quelling Blade for Chrysalis, so now he can get sprouted up. I've seen this movie before. It's a couple of years back, but a very famous game ending with a certain Sven being stuck in trees for a whole fight after BKBing.
I'm still waiting for the Storm Bolt onto a board. That's what I want to see as an old movie being recreated.
That's not happening this game.
It is not. The culprit of it is here, though.
True.
He was coaching for OG.
Yep. Guess he stunned the boar in the coaching as well. Sorry.
Yeah, come on, Zen.
I'm just kidding. Come on.
You've been around Bulldog and Black too long. Just
Come on.
Dick move, Zen. Dick move.
Can't we have some fun, Toby?
Uh,
No? Sorry.
No fun allowed.
All right, guys. So it looks like EHOME are just gonna push out their
Yep.
lanes.
Yep,
They're getting prepared for the next team fight.
Yep.
Maybe one of the what are they called?
Yeah, the little Muppets.
From Sesame Street.
Little Muppets. Oh yeah, yeah, those things. All right, Roshan's being done. Gambit's having a crack at it. It's only anti-mage inside the pit, so even an RP option won't be there.
This is big.
And the Dire is scanning, so they'll know the second someone comes over, but it's already done. Aegis Immortal into the anti-mage, cheese into the Razor, and now it will be one hell of a defense being asked of EHOME. You know they're going to come high ground, and what have you got in return? They're spending all their money. All these heroes that used buyback previously are still on cooldown for another minute and 40 seconds. That's why you're seeing Legion Commander picking up a Demon Edge.
God, they have so much damage.
Yeah, she's at 300. That's 402 damage.
This
when
is without
empowered.
God Strength.
That is without God's
He
Strength.
gets another 175 from that, or another, almost 200.
Wait,
no,
does
yeah,
that
200.
apply the same way? So you burn God, like you have IO tethered to this event, you pop your God Strength,
Yeah.
and then you change your tether target to the Legion Commander.
You could technically do that, yeah. He can precast the God Strength, but I think Tether wants... Io wants to be tethered to the Sven the whole fight because he needs the attack speed. The overcharge is going to play a really important role in these coming fights. Sven needs to hit fast. The
Yep.
Legion Commander will get one key kill, and then actually she's kind of gonna snowball through the fight if she doesn't get countered out by the Razor or
As long as they can find the kill, Anti-Mage is looking to jump in.
the Sprout. Honestly, Sprout is will be the game-winning spell for Gambit in this one. I think.
Sprout separates the dual targets. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, it should be possible.
Oh, here
if he
comes
sprouts,
Prophet.
yeah.
He's TPing forward. Ego's waiting for the target. They stormbolt up pretty quick, looking for that anti-mage. And well, God Strength has been burnt, combining up with the Ire, but they didn't get what they wanted. It was a blink away from anti-mage.
He didn't duel anyone. I think he just has to duel.
I don't think he wants to, because the only target was the Aegis target.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna die though. They had
And it's a 50-second cooldown on duel. Like, it's...
yeah. The cooldown on Sven ulti is relatively long, 80 seconds. So now there's a timing window. Gambit managed to bait out God Strength without anything happening, and now the fight's going to be even harder.
Oh,
Look at
the
Hawk
mana
just going
leaves
in.
instantly off Legion Commander, trapped inside the Sprout, no way to break it free, but the RP catching to skew it back into the double Stormbolt. Faith will go down, Razor, the other target, he needs to die right now, but they're tossing around with the Illuminate spam. Razor's still not dead yet, they're trying their best, but it's the anti-mage who just keeps burning away everything they've got. The Static Link is up, the damage is being stolen, and EHOME are going to the only place that is safe, and that's that fountain. Blinding Light and Illuminate will slow down this push from Gambit, as well as the fortification, but that's why they try and jump forward. Sven, the Stormbolt, gonna work with the Io. Where's that attack speed? Where's that kill? But remember, it's still the Aegis, the immortal target. ASD, he can't get forward. The anti-mage Manta illusions and everything else. A skew with the toss, immersion. Magnus, that's a bump in the road, or a pothole, I should say.
Hey, look
a quick
at Sven.
Stormbolt, and Sven, he can't go anywhere. Trapped inside the trees. Finally, the Force Star's being used to get him back out again, but Megas are up for Gambit. Maybe after the range tracks in mid, the Hux is already on it. Another avalanche out. There's no Magnus. He can't do anything. Sven permanently stunned up. ASD wants something, and he's got himself a duel. Fighting it out, and this time it's with the IO buff up. They'll bring down Nature's Prophet. Remember, he's got buyback. He can rejoin the fight. Finally, they'll get through the Aegis, the Immortal, but it's too little too late. 5S coming thick and fast from EHOME. ASD still caught inside the Sprout. This time, it's actually the Hux who's got inside the Sprout. ASD will walk away. That's the BKB protecting him for a bit. Another Sprout will not get any kind of contain. So without the Magnus, without the RP, without the Empower, that big buff up that EHOME was relying on just doesn't exist. They have to use their long range spam. Sven caught inside the trees once more. Anti-mage, jump
I
in,
didn't get the
no
duel.
duel
I just
available.
have it.
It's 10 seconds on cooldown. Legion Commander, the Force off him out. This feels like just smoke and mirrors distraction. 18 seconds till Magnus is up. He will not have RP when he spawns, but the Radiant Ancient under attack from Aphro. They need something. They need a duel. They need an initiation, because if they don't, this game is over, and that's what Gambit are looking to do, to level the series 1-1 if possible. The Hawk still wants to finish the job. ASD just basically checking out trees. He's a Fulner expert at the moment. Anti-Mage, quick blink out. Magnus is alive, and with the Ignis underneath the fountain, they're a little bit concerned about this. The Empower buff ups are starting to arrive for EHOME and Gambit. They're backing all the way out. Prophet's already on a rune grab. They'll leave it. They'll come back to finish this in about 5-10 minutes.
We'll see if they're going to wait that long. The Roshan is spawning in anywhere between, what's that, 3 minutes, 46 minutes, 40? So, yeah, maybe you're right. About 5 minutes time. They can wait for the Sages if they want to try to end the game, or they can go for it right now. don't really blame them if they wait for the Aegis. This is obviously it's really important for Gambit to grab every single game that they can, because we've seen how they've struggled to beat EHOME, and this was, in everyone's opinion, including my own, when we were talking with the panel, this was the game we felt like EHOME had the worst draft against their opponents. This is the one, if Gambit can't win this one, they will get 3-0'd. This is the game they absolutely have to win, and EHOME has made them work for it, but right now, obviously, it looks like the game is pretty much over. Massively favored with the mega creeps, 20,000 gold lead. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of been funny to watch Nietzsche's Prof the last couple of fights, honestly. He's spamming Sprout off cooldown. He's throwing it on Legion, he's throwing it on Sven. He's throwing it on Legion, he's throwing it on Sven. And how many 4-staffs do they have? Is that 2?
Two on
They
the
have
supports.
2 4-staffs, so...
It's when you actually kind of want to be holding a Battle Fury on the Sven, even though that sounds so stupid in this game. He needs the Courier to come out and pick up the Demon Edge.
Yep.
There's no buyback available on the Sven, he's got the money for it, but the Courier's being sent back home at the moment.
Looks like Gambit want to go before Glyph is off cooldown. Or they want to at least contain them. See if they do try to make a jump.
They really need that damage output.
Caudle has buyback. Legion does not.
Yeah, so the only buyback for
Sven
EHOME
doesn't-
right now is the Keeper of the Light.
Keeper of the Light. He almost has Refresher.
Well, here they come. Gambit, jump in, quick Abyssal Blade, there is support, and the Legion duel is out the moment. But can they find the kill onto the enemy? Hold, and they're caught inside the Sprout. RP from Faith Beyond, the cleave damage is there! Ego's got 2, they don't have buyback available, and they're caught under the double exit. Where do you go? You go to your death! Tiny is nowhere to go out, a double kill for ASD! That's the play they needed to keep their hopes alive in the game, EHOME! Oh, Gambit! What has happened?
Is under attack.
The game isn't over until the engine falls.
This is Dota!
It's not over yet.
Oh boy, look at how fast they're moving up mid.
Oh man, they're even forcing buybacks out. It's one thing to win a fight when you're this far behind and against Megas like this, but when you get buybacks, that means the next fight could possibly be taken for EHOME at Roshan, and if they were to win
Oh,
that...
the Courier. No, fight. He doesn't have. Oh, but then again, relocate. Are you bringing friends?
Kill him, Xianming. Yeah. They don't get anything else than the Razor buyback, but that I feel like that was unnecessary actually for Apo to
Let's
buy
have
back
a look
in
at this
situation.
again. So the duel at the very beginning, under protection of BKB, just holding the animation position, but it's this follow-up RP, skewer into it, and that allows Ego just to combo.
They put up these double Ignis.
That was only freshly made. Did he sell an item so he had the money for that?
No,
Or-
I think he just flat out got it. He had 5k gold at the time, so... Whoops. That's the face of regret. That's a face of
It's like, hey, we're,
optimism, but still slight concern.
yeah, we're still Megan. We've still got, like, all tier 2 towns are still up for Gambit. But if you want a team that's really great at holding against Megas, this would be it. It's the fear of the initiation, but it's also the fact that there's so much cleave in their lineup that they can deal with a large amount of units inside their base. They've got counter push. And the damage output is getting higher and higher. The Daedalus, I guess, over on this Ven, obviously the Courier was trying to bring another one back. It was a Demon Edge. I think it's the Daedalus for ASD. He's got a decent amount of cash, and I'm wondering if the Shadow Blade is now 8% win probability.
Yeah, that's a pretty high win rate against Megas, to be honest. That's one of the higher ones I've seen for a while.
There's
so.
the Crystallis. Look at the damage he has. 156 plus 320. Not
That's-
including what happens if there's a Tether God Strength.
Yep.
And here's the run out to try and fight. Tiny, Immersion, they're going to find him. Blink. Oh! He got away before the duel could come out. That would have been such a huge kill if they claimed him. Tiny is the only hero in Gambit who has buyback available.
The nerve to just farm them. I mean, he does have a ward, but that was still pretty dangerous from Immersion. Good reaction, though.
It was the Reigning Observer Ward. They made the most of that on the hill. It saw the creeps moving out to farm to be killed. I say to farm themselves against a blade. Roshan's going to be the next target again. This will have a refresher shard involved in it. I suppose it's the Lich who would make the best of that with a double Chain Frost. But
Or a Furion with 3 Sprouts. I could see it being good on Razor, too. Double ulti, 2 Shivas.
if he had a BKB, I may be more for that.
Yeah,
But it's
that
still
would
a
make it even
no
better.
BKB Razor.
I actually think 2 Razor ultis are better than 2 Lich ultis. It would also give them a way of ending the game if he buys Aghanims.
Well, they're starting on Roshan, and it looks like EHOME have no desire to contest.
I don't know about this. I feel like now we're reaching the point where it's a bit too entirely optimistic. Very quick reaction. See the replay here from...
I think the observe board actually gave... I think the observe board gave him a small bit of indication, because they came close enough with the secondary hero. You had Legion under the cover of the Shadowblade. Alright, so Curry is
that
back.
was some survival instinct shit, though. You saw him on the camera shot there. Oh, man. That's what it is. All right, Gambit.
Smoke up. They're looking for their opening. But look at ASD, also under the cover of Shadowblade. They're seeing where they're going to come in. Ego's going to be the target. It's a good avalanche. Gets the war cry off. Now into the God's Wraith, looking for a target. But with the spell sheet up on the Animage, they didn't want to go for him. Instead, it's the Stormbolt over to Immersion. But while the creep waves continuously push in, EHOME have only one place they can fight, and that's their Ancient.
And that's a card strength wasted again. So they can wait it out and try to go in after this. This makes a really big difference that the spell's on cooldown.
At least it's a 1 minute cooldown time. Like
Yeah.
that's the upside. Bottom lane, Immersion, Stormbolt flying his way. Prophet begins his TP. And there's actually the hug. He'll go in deeper, look for that target, Faith Beyond. He's wanting to get the RP off, push forward, able to catch 2 inside of it, but then Io is already down. Skewer them all back together, looking for the cleave damage. There is your second Ignis. They have to fight under him, and the Legion Commander, she just have to fly bashed up. Her buyback is available, but where's the buff up? So Magnus is already down. That'll be the game. You're losing the Ancient. No way to survive through this. Gambit finally put him down and ensure that this grand final will not be a 3-0.